But
can you still, in your opinion, buy an Airbnb in 2023 with the interest rates where they're at?
Okay.
And make and the numbers still work?
Yes.
Do you think?
And this is what I'm big on liking to be a practice of what I preach. That let's just use an example. That Maya that I just bought, that little 1-bedroom, you can cash flows. I think self-managing, you could still cash flow. And I locked in a 6.5. I think I paid 1 point to get it down. And rates had just dipped, but they just got raised again yesterday. But you can still make them work. I think if you're getting hard money on it at first, no. But I know you probably will plan to refi out, hopefully within 6 to 12. You know, you don't want to eat that payment too much longer. But yes, you can. You just need to be more selective. I don't care where the market is. I'm always going to be looking for some type of a value add opportunity. Turnkey might be a little bit harder if you're, as we know right now with pricing.
Yep.
Anything that's priced well is moving. If these agents that are yes men to their clients decide that they want to list that property 100 over, we all know that thing's going to sit and sit and sit in price reduction. And so really it's all about where you get that property, making sure that you're getting that at a good to fair buy.
How would you recommend somebody acquire a property in 2023? Obviously, there's a lot of different ways to probably acquire one, but do you recommend they go and get DSCR 25% down, or do you recommend they raise the capital? Do you recommend they go partner with somebody? How do they get that first deal?
That is such a great question. And you really can't go wrong anyway. I think if it's a newbie, I would probably look for, it just depends on their situation. I love how the whole talk about buying a multi-unit play and then renting out the doors, something where you could utilize as little cash as possible, but utilize your network. I mean, if you've got a wealthy friend or family member or someone that could lend you it, or you could work a private loan. I mean, if you have a great 9 to 5, as me and you know how hard it was our first few years for the income standpoint, but if you have that ability to use that, dude, get a loan, conventional loan, get the best rate you can. If it's something that you could raise a couple friends together and get it, promissory notes it out, work something out and work out private money, go that route. I mean, there's so many different ways you could do it. I think I got to the point where me personally, I like to just utilize, now that I've got the income to show and stuff, just 20%. I'm a big on, once I outline it out, okay, well, how much cash am I going to have to invest in this? What's the purchase price? What are my closing costs? What's my annual cash on cash? Pro-forming it out and being like a 20% down conventional guy. However, the beginning, as some are familiar, some aren't, I partnered up on all of them, dude. My first, and I've sold and deployed and gotten bigger or better properties. I've sold 6 properties of mine that I owned, and those were all partnered up, except for one in the last 2 years. And I ended up using that capital to either buy the Phoenix house or move on to other things. I still have some capital ready for the luxury or the next one, our property.
Right.
But I really think that it's very circumstantial. What is your situation? But there's no excuse. I got the first one with $5,000 to my name. And I'm talking about that's what I was worth at the time. And then not even in the bank account. I think $2,000 in my bank account. And I found a buddy who I pitched to everyone I knew. Parents said no. Family members said no. Other friends said no. An acquaintance friend of mine scratched his head and said, come meet me for a beer. And I explained to him the model I had done with my primary. I was like, brother, I found this value add in Old Town for $156,000. We ended up selling it for $356 in 2021. But this is the first guy I partnered with. And I was like, dude, but this is the problem. It had to be cash or hard money. And I was like, he managed to scrounge up the money. And we didn't even need to. We could have, the only reason we had to go that way is that we both couldn't get financing at the time. We could have been creative with it, but he scrounged together. I think it was a HELOC. We got it. Then we ended up refining it later. But we got it and ended up grossing, I think, around $34,000 year one. And that was a partnered up one. And that was kind of my beginning for my catalog. Dude, there's no shame in partnering. And I know big fish that still partner on properties. It's less risk for everyone.
For sure.
But if that's your foot in, no harm. If you can get the financing on your own, great. If you need to get private financing, go for it, but make sure to have an out on it.
Yeah, for sure.